Okay, let's do IELTS speaking today, class, and we should continue with class IELTS 40. So, people, my good students, are you ready for your speaking practice?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
You should be, of course. We are going to part 1, the topic number 28, already done. We should be doing 29 now. It's about skies and stars, which is a weird topic. Nói về các vì sao và bầu trời. A quite strange topic, to be honest with you. Skies and stars and the planets. Bless you. Now, so Mr. Phúc, please, do you like to look at the sky?
Well, actually, I don't like to look up at the sky because I don't see any star up there, and
Because you're
it's
living in the city.
I know
So the
that.
cloud is very thick. And it's very hard to look at the sky and see anything there, right?
I can see the plane.
Yeah, of course, you can see airplane, you can see sometimes you can see satellites. Để thấy được những cái vệ tinh nhân tạo. We can see artificial satellites. And you can see the moon, but normally we wouldn't be able to see stars inside a city, because it's so polluted. So, Phúc, do you prefer the sky in the morning or the sky at night?
Well, in my opinion, I think I prefer the sky
Prefer.
I
I think I prefer.
I think I prefer. I think I prefer the sky in the morning because
I prefer.
very. I
Yes.
think I prefer the sky in the morning because it's look uh it's look more beautiful than the night.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Right. Like for example, right now it's daytime and you can see the bright sky and then clear. Or maybe not so clear. I can see cloud now.
But
About to rain, I guess.
normally beautiful than night because the night you just see like the dark of the sky.
Uh-huh. Oh, I see. So, Mr. Young, do you like to look at the sky?
Oh, yes, because at my place, every time, even in the night or the morning, I still can see the sunset or twilight. And
Twilight.
maybe
Very good. Twilight.
or
Twilight.
maybe
What is the twilight? Twilight is when it's not dark. It's not exactly dark or light. Cái lúc mà nó nhá nhem không có rõ ràng.
Giữa
Nó
nửa
tối hay
sáng nửa
sáng.
tối rồi.
So nửa sáng nửa tối chính xác. When it's about like 8 o'clock. No. When it's about like 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Or when it's about 6 or 6:30 in the afternoon. When it's not exactly light or dark, that's twilight.
and in the night, I can still see the stars sometimes because
At
if
night or in the night. At night và in the
at
night khác
night
nhau nha.
at
So at
night.
night is a time when you're at night, but in the night is when you look into the night sky or you talk about the period.
So at night, I can see the star just sometimes when the sky is so clear and can see star in the sky.
Giống như là in the
Really
night là
clear.
trong màn đêm, còn at night là lúc ban đêm á. Một cái sự tập trung về nó của nó khác nhau. The focus is a bit different when you say at night or in the night, okay? So Phúc, so Dương, what did you say?
No.
So do you prefer the night in the morning or the sky at night?
I think I still prefer the sky at night, especially when the night is actually really clear. I can see clearly the star at night. Just at my
Mhm.
place, another place I don't know, but at my place I can see the star at night. So I really love it. Yeah.
I see. Right, so Trung, how about you? Do you like to look at the sky?
Yeah. I really do look at the sky. However, I love to look directly into the sky. Excuse me, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Yeah, yeah. I really like I really like to look at the sky, especially the sky during the daytime. Yeah. Uh, excuse me, can you hear me? Hi, hi, hi. Yeah.
Wait, your microphone is very very low now. Tại sao
Uh,
nó nghe nó cực kỳ nhỏ luôn á?
yeah, yeah. I don't know the reason why.
What microphone are you using? Because it's very small. It sounds very tiny. Đã bắt đầu lag rồi, đã bắt đầu lag rồi. It start to lag now.
Um,
Moment.
mm, one moment, please.
Okay, let me try this one. Okay, say again, Mr. Trung. Say again. Say something now, please. Okay, Mr. Trung, try say something again, please. I can't hear you. Bên Trung bị vấn đề về cái audio rồi. Okay, perfect. Now it's clear. Thầy đổi cái speaker khác. Okay,
All
try
right.
again.
Okay, so
Try again.
I really
Okay,
like
good now. Good now. Okay, good now. Do you like to
uh
look at the sky, Trung?
yeah, sure. I really like to look directly at the sky during daytime. Um Contraries to most people, they like to look at the sky during the night or the twilight or when there's not so much light. I really like to look at the sky uh when it's bright. It does help me to relax my eyesight. Yeah, and looking at the sky, I I feel very comfortable, feel relaxed. Yeah, I do. I do really like to look at the sky. Yeah.
Okay. And how about you, Tường? Do you prefer the night in the sky? I mean, the sky in the morning or the sky at night?
Well, to be honest, I would prefer the sky at night more because to me, the sky in the morning seems to be really like shining and lightening with all those sunshines. So I barely go outside in the morning because I'm afraid of being um, like attacked of those affected of those UV and also the sunlights too. So for me, the sky at night would be something more beautiful and um, yeah, more beautiful and sensory more. So yeah, I would prefer the sky at night more than the sky in the morning.
I see. So, Phúc, please. Can you see the moon and stars at night where you live?
Well, actually, I just see the moon when the sky, uh, at the sky, like, I just see the moon, but I don't see the star in the sky where I live. Where I live.
Yes. So, Phúc, are there any good places to go to look at the sky where you live?
Uh, Actually, my place is city, so I don't think it's have a good place to see the star because the air there is pollution and the cloud is thick. So I don't think we can see a star in the city or in the capital.
Okay. In the capital, you mean Hanoi?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, so Yoon, are there any good places to look at the sky where you live?
So actually, there's skyscraper. Maybe skyscraper. It's better to look at the sky at night, but because when the skyscraper, you can clearly see the sun and the cloud too. It's actually really good. really better sceneries, but just usually in the skyscraper. But if in my place, I usually go to my school and see the cloud because it's easy to see the to see there. Yeah.
Right, I see. So, Tường, can you imagine what it would be to travel to outer space?
Honestly, I've never dreamt of to be outside the space because I'm not really fond of keen on something like traveling outside space or to explore more about the outer stars and sunshine. But actually, I think it's a thrilling experience to take more challenges in my life, but also that I've seen so many films about space and stars, so I think
Oh,
that it would be kind of like a challenged experience to me if I had a chance to do so.
I see. Right, so, Jung, would you like to travel to outer space?
Traveling to outer space sounds interesting and thrilling
It's quite interesting, right?
the same time. However, I prefer to stay on the Earth. Okay. I think the space is a very lonely place. Yeah.
Of course, it's indeed lonely.
Oh, yeah.
It's even lonelier than being, single.
Yeah. Okay, so it may look beautiful on the screen in the movies or on the social media, but uh, I believe it is actually lonely. No sound, no yeah, just silent. Okay, and that really terrifies me. So I prefer to stay on Earth. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I see. All right. So, Phúc, can you imagine what it would be to like to travel to outer space?
Mm,
Yeah, there are many movies about it. Can you imagine what it would be like to travel to outer space? Oh, well, I can't hear
mm,
you. All right.
uh,
Say something now.
hello.
Quickly. Come. Yeah, answer the
Um,
question, please. Trả lời câu đó đi Phúc. Come on.
không biết nữa, bạn nghĩ sao?
Trời đất ơi. Cái chủ đề space nên học rồi mà. We learned this one before. We did.
Hình như
Would
duy
you like to travel to outer space? Muốn đi vào vũ trụ không?
no.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, I think it will have the spaceship, the spacesuit, and
Spacesuits, yes.
I think it will be interesting. It will be interesting and
Interesting.
but
Interesting.
interesting. But maybe it will have a little dangerous with like if your spaceship is not working well, I think this will have a bit dangerous to the
Of course, it will be a bit
yeah
dangerous.
to the tourism.
Yes. It will be even more dangerous than like, exploring Titanic.
Yeah,
More dangerous than that. Còn
yeah.
nguy hiểm hơn là khám phá Titanic đấy. Okay, so let's go to part 2 and part 3, shall we? Câu chuyện làm meme quá chứ. Khổ, chết còn không yên nữa.
Bintaku.
Oh yeah, let's do 40 now. Okay, part 2 and 3. Describe a time when you felt very bored. Vì miêu tả một thời điểm mà bạn cảm thấy rất là chán. And you should never describe Mr. John's classes, okay? Never! Because my class is never boring, because I am not a boring person,
Yeah.
Good. You should say when it was. Lúc đó lúc nào? Who you were with. Bạn lúc đó bạn nói với ai? What you were doing. Lúc đó bạn đang làm gì? Explain why you felt bored. Giải thích tại sao bạn lại cảm thấy nhàm chán. And then part 3 of feeling bored. When do people feel bored and why? Khi nào con người ta cảm thấy nhàm chán? Tại sao? Well, think about it. You know, there are many different ways to answer this question. What do people usually do when they've got nothing to do? Con người ta thường làm gì khi họ chẳng có gì để làm? Không được trả lời là people do nothing, you know. You cannot answer that like that, you know. When people got nothing to do. If I have nothing to do, I would play video games. I try to practice the piano, you know. I would try to learn new things, you know. Or I just go out and meet my friends, maybe. But the answer for this question should be long, okay? Mình trả lời câu này dài đó nha. Nhiều trường hợp tùy người nữa. It also depends on people. So, next question. Do children get bored more than in the past? Why not? Trẻ nhỏ có bị chán nhiều hơn trong quá khứ hay không? Tại sao không? Do you think boredom can bring some benefits? Bạn có nghĩ cái sự nhàm chán có thể đem đến một số lợi ích gì không? Think about creativity, you know. Chán quá thì có thể tự nhiên nảy ra một cái ý nào đó mới hay. Sáng tạo. Think about boredom. Well, sometimes it can help you to think more intensely about your problems. Khi người ta nhàm chán, người ta sẽ bắt đầu suy nghĩ về những vấn đề của họ hơn. They start to think more about their problems and try to solve them, you know. Like, give examples. Alright, you have some time with this one now. Thinking time. Alright, thumbs up, please. Thumbs up, please. Alright, guys and girls, please start now. Dương, please, you first. Bật mic mọi người. Microphones on, please.
So it was.
Now, Dương, please describe a time when you felt very bored. Last, you should open your microphone. I want you to discuss, okay?
So now,
Dương, please.
So there was
Cẩn
a
thận
time.
động từ.
Yeah. So there was a time I sat in the class and study, but at that time I'm quite feeling bored because that's subjects I have learned already. So my teacher, he teach on the board, but I don't notice anything, and I'm quite really sleepy and feel bored.
Okay.
So I took my phone out and played with it. Wow,
yeah. Playing with a phone. How convenient.
Oh yeah. But after that, my teacher took my phone away, so I have to.
Oh, how unfortunate. How unfortunate. Thật là không may mắn.
So I spent.
Then what would happen? What happened?
I'm not arguing with my teacher because I know I'm wrong. So I just sat there.
I didn't argue with my teacher. I didn't argue with my teacher because I knew that I was wrong.
I didn't argue with
the grammar in this country is terrible, you know. Văn phạm cho đất nước này thật là kinh khủng. The grammar in this country is terrible. Try again.
Go man.
Say again.
So I didn't argue with my teachers and just sat there drawing something else, waiting for my class done. So actually, at that time, I quite sleepy.
Yes.
And for me, that boredom is actually something make me less sleepy at that time. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I see. All right. Miss Tường, please, your turn. Describe a time when you felt very bored.
Well, so the time that I felt bored the most to me was actually during the lockdown during the pandemic COVID-19
Oh,
because yeah, because we all had to stay at home at that period of time to keep ourselves, like to protect ourselves, so that like I had to. That was a challenging time for me as I was like compelled to stay at home all the time. Like at first I tried to keep myself busy in redecorating my room or cleaning up my room to, and it's actually helped me a lot in staying away from the boredom. But then I started to like watching TVs or listening to music, but it did not help me for a long time because I I did not have anyone to hang out with or to talk to. So I was actually a couch potato because all I do in a
a
day was
couch potato. Hmm.
was what I do all in a day was just lying on the bed watching TV and literally doing nothing at all. But still, it was a hard time because even my cousins lived next door to me, just cannot come over. And sometimes I had to, like, I build up some new habits, like writing diary or writing blog to immerse myself or to entertain just myself.
Is
Yeah,
it that boring over there?
yeah.
Is it that boring over there? Oh my god, it's terrible. To be honest with you, are you living inside Fumiheng area?
During the lockdown, I was not living in my apartment now. Like I've just moved here next in the last summer.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right. But to be honest with you, Fumiheng area is super boring.
It's fine.
It's
Oh my God.
super boring. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, how boring can it be?
It's full of middle-aged Koreans and Vietnamese people who are older and no real activities, just like District 2, you know. Okay, there
Oh,
might be like might be like as exhibitions and events going on, but it still feels terribly boring for me sometimes, and it just work. Anyway,
Fine. I think so.
I'm glad that I'm in a different place now, but it's still District 7 anyway. But sometimes I wish I could have enough money so I can buy another apartment in District 2 and enjoy life there. But life there is super expensive, you know?
hmm.
Trời quận 2 mắc lắm luôn á. Cái gì cũng mắc đó. Everything is expensive there because, it's a foreigner town.
Oh,
Oh well. Anyway, so Trung, your turn to describe a time when you felt very bored, please.
yeah. Okay, the time when I was very bored was when I had nothing to do. Yeah, when I had nothing to do. So it was last week. I went to my friend's house for a sleepover. Okay, so actually we had so much fun, but I think our fun was meaningless. And after that, we just found something to kill the time, to kill the boredom. Yeah, it works for some moments, but after that, I still feel bored. Yeah, yeah, and I don't know. I think it's like a psychological thing, when we have so much fun and then the boredom appear. Okay.
You mean it's a like a bounce back, bouncing back.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So first we had fun and then the boredom.
Bật ngược lại is a bounce back if I can think.
Yeah.
Like once you have too much fun, the next moment you feel super bored, something like that, I think.
Yeah, and you didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do, so yeah, so all I could do was to wait for the boredom to come and to go. That's it. Okay, yeah. Although I'm not a child anymore, but I really don't know how to deal with the boredom. Yeah.
I'm sitting here in my boring room.
Oh, I hate that song.
It's another boring Sunday afternoon. Exactly. Đúng, hôm nay Sunday afternoon nè. I got nothing to do. Oh my god. Alright, your turn, folk, please. Describe a time when you felt very bored.
Yes, okay. Well, it was for last week, and I was stay home alone because my dad and my mother
My father and mother
my father and my mother go to work, and I
went to work.
went to
Quá
work,
khứ.
and I stay at home alone. So I decided
Alone hay là alone? Cẩn thận.
alone,
Alone hay là
alone.
alone? It's different.
So I decided to play video game. I think I play
Good choice.
I think I play video game about 5 or 6 hours, and then I feel like
Felt.
when you do one thing uh a lot time, like doing it at the same for a long time, you will feel bored. So at time because I don't have anything to do because outside is raining, and and my and my phone is going to, like, my battery is going to run out. So I have nothing to do, so I feel bored because, yeah, I have nothing to do, so I feel very bored.
Okay.
And I don't like to study when I alone at home.
Okay. When you're alone at home. Well, actually playing video games a lot. It's the same repeating things, and sometimes it can be boring too, you know. Nó cũng làm cái chuyện lặp đi lặp lại, lặp đi lặp lại, lặp đi lặp lại. It feel boring, you know. It feels very boring, yeah. You can feel very bored. So maybe I suggest that you might try to invite your friends over, or maybe go to other people's places, maybe, you know. Anyway, right, let's go to part 3 of feeling bored now. So, Mr. When do people feel bored and why? What do you think?
Well, actually, people usually find boredom when they've got nothing to do. It's actually the most common situations that I've ever met in my life. Because but besides that, people would usually find boredom when they do not find interest in the work that they're doing. Like the students when they have to do their homework and they just cannot find interest in doing their tasks or their exercises, they would find boredom inside doing it. Yeah, so because and people usually feel bored in doing the tasks that they have to do. They're under the control. They just cannot do it freely, and they would find a boredom inside doing some tasks like that too.
Uh-huh. Right, I see. So, Mr. Young, please. So, what do people usually do when they've got nothing to do?
Usually, people spending time on their own, like developing their jobs, maybe. Uh, they playing games, maybe drawings if they are artists, or maybe not, and and mostly spending a lot of time go to sleep because it's the most easy way to
The easiest way. Come on. It's
easiest
the
way.
easiest way.
It's the most easiest way to
Wait, it's the easiest way. Không có the most easiest
uh,
way.
the easiest way to not feel boredom. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so what do you think, Mr. Trung? What do people usually do when they've got nothing to do?
Yeah, okay. Like I think there's is a conflict in the question, you know. Oh, when people
Yeah, there's a conflict in the question. Exactly. Cái câu này nó hơi bị conflicting, nó hơi bị hai ý nó hơi chọi nhau. Yeah.
like okay, people got nothing to do. How can we suppose them to do something when they have nothing to do? Okay, so here's yeah. Okay, so I think um if I was in this case, I would get in contact with my friends. Okay, I would try my best to reach out to them and to be honest, I could tell them that I'm really boring right now. I feel sad right now. Do you have any suggestion? Do you have any idea? Okay, so or can they help me uh to be happier? Okay, so
What?
uh,
To be happier, right?
yeah, happier. Okay, so
Okay.
in this situation, I don't know what other people should do, but I suggest we connect with our friends and relatives and family members, and we admit that we are bored, we admit that we are sad, and we ask for help, support, or any suggestion from them. Yeah.
Okay. Right, I see. So, Phúc, please. So, do children get bored? Get bored more than in the past? Why? Why not?
Well, in my
Thử
opinion,
là cỡ khoảng 20 30
well,
năm trước chẳng hạn.
well, in
Yeah, in the
my
past is like
opinion,
10,
I
20
don't.
years ago, a year ago.
Well, in my opinion, I
Yes,
don't think
please.
so.
Uh-huh.
Because like now, like if they play outside, like when they play outside, they play football, basketball for a long time, and they feel bored. They can go inside and play video game, or they can play music, play instrument,
Music.
or maybe they can hang out with their friends, or play board game with their friends. So actually
Yes.
actually I don't think children get bored more than in the past.
Uh-huh. I see. Right. That's a good question. That's a good answer, actually. So, Young, what do you think? Do children get bored more than the past? Why? Why not?
I think
What do you
yes,
think?
because nowadays children, if they don't have their phones, uh, yeah, they will feel really, really bored because they don't have any another activities to do. Maybe because their parents don't play with them, they are spending time on their jobs already. Um,
I think it's better
yeah,
to say if their parents do not spend time with them, I think.
uh, parents don't spend time with them. Just give them their phone, and if they play their phones too much, it will really harm them in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Beside that, there's still children that mm, they don't have friends because their friends spending time on their phones already.
That sounds like a tragic situation, huh?
It's truly a tragic.
Very tragic, to be honest with you.
So actually, just help children feel boredom nowadays. Even they have toys, they can just play about a day. They still get bored at a time. So yeah,
Okay.
children nowadays is actually really bored from the past because at the past we still can play to each other. Uh, can hang
Play
out with
with
each
each
other,
other. Play with each other.
play with each
Hoặc là
other. I
spend
just
time with each other. Spend
uh,
time with each other.
spend times or hang out or maybe watching TVs. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't still bored. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Now, so Young, do you think boredom can bring some benefits? Benefits.
I think when boredom came, you can actually think maybe lazy, but you can still thinking about the future. Maybe planning some future in my head while I'm bored. or
Mm-hmm.
maybe people bored. We just at the time we just really our body just want to need to give a sign that we need to rest because we're doing too much things, so we feel bored at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
To rest? What?
yeah,
Really?
yeah, actually,
Oh,
maybe it's
come
a
on. You,
sign
you
of
you feel bored and you go to sleep? I don't think it works. Ugh.
it really works every time.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
really.
wow. So you just sleep your way out of your boredom. Wow. Oh well. I guess everyone's different. Who
10
am
out of
I to
10
say?
solution, actually. And
Who am I to say? I think everyone's different now.
yeah,
So what do you think? Tương, do you think boredom can bring some benefits?
Well, yet a little boredom for children, like for both children and adults, can be a good thing. Like it can like simulate creativity and problem solving, since when we are bored, like when we've got nothing to do, we can think of our unsolved problems, and then we can come up with some ideas or some smarter solutions for our problems or matters.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, why we can think of any topics or anything in our life, or maybe we can come up with a good things that will help a lot in our work or our studies during that
But to
period
be
of time.
honest with you, these days, it's hard to find boredom because we have deadlines, we have work, we have lots of things around
Yeah.
us, we have a lot of distraction, right?
hmm So barely we
So
can
yeah.
we don't have enough time to like let ourselves being bored or let our friend to be recharged. So I think it's sometimes just a little time to get bored is a good thing for
I think
to
it's a good
recharge.
thing too, yeah.
Mhm.
Right. So, Mr. Trung, do you think so? Do you think boredom can bring some benefits?
Yeah, sure. I do believe boredom can brings some benefits to people. Okay, so uh, when they are when they are bored, mm, people will find a way to get out of such situation. Okay, as the only way is to get creative. Okay, so
Oh, it's
um,
the only way to get creative, really?
yeah,
You
with
know, I think back then, like in the 17th, 18th century, people they had a lot of free time, you know?
right.
Because back then there was no video game, there was no TV, there was no real like entertainment back then. People just play cards, they hang out with each other much more than now, I think.
Yes, and
But I'm not so sure if people feel bored more in the past than in the present, I think.
I think people felt less bored in the past than in the present. Okay,
Uh-huh.
they you know their resources were limited and they needed to get creative with everything they had to have the most fun out of it, right? Okay, so
Oh.
right, okay, so sometimes I feel jealous with the people or the children in the past, uh,
Oh.
their joy or their happiness was very simple, not too much complicated like we
How
or
simple then?
the people at the present. Yeah.
How simple then?
Yeah, for example,
I don't.
back when I was a child, um, we don't have much toys. We don't have toys, but uh, we were playing on the street and we collect the metal can, the tin to be okay,
Tin
and
cans, you mean tin cans?
yeah, the tin can, the rock, okay, the seed from the fruit, yeah, you
Oh, seed from fruits and
they
leaves, right?
they collect everything they could and they created the game out of it. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
It was some sort of creativity, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember my childhood being very, very fun too. there's no moment of boredom really. Sometimes I do feel bored, but most of the time I created my own toys and I invited the other children in my area to play with me, so I didn't feel bored, to be honest. And then we have games and we have other things, but yeah, I think I had one of the best childhood. All right, let's move on now. We have to move on to the next topic now. Try 42. Describe a perfect job you would like to have in the future. Miêu tả một cái nghề nghiệp hoàn hảo bạn muốn có trong tương lai. You should say what it is, how you knew it, làm thế nào bạn biết về cái nghề này, what it is like, and explain why you think it is perfect. Tại sao bạn nghĩ nó là perfect nhỉ? And then part 3 of the choice of jobs. What kinds of job do children like? Trẻ nhỏ thích những cái loại công việc như thế nào? Remember, when you were children, what kind of job did you wanted to do? But remember, part 3 you should not talk about yourself, okay? Talk about children in general. Nói về trẻ em nói chung thôi nha. Do children like to choose the same profession as their parents? Trẻ nhỏ có thích chọn cùng cái nghề như cha mẹ của chúng không? Will people regret their career choices when they become older? Liệu con người ta sẽ hối tiếc cái sự lựa chọn nghề nghiệp của họ chứ khi họ trở nên già hơn? And what should people consider when choosing jobs? Con người ta nên cân nhắc cái gì khi chọn jobs, khi chọn nghề nghiệp? This one is a big question, okay? Think about work environment. Nghĩ về cái môi trường làm việc nè. Work environment. Think about benefits, including like maternity leave, nghỉ thai sản. And you still get paid for it. Maternity leave, sick leave, nghỉ do bệnh mà vẫn được trả tiền chẳng hạn. Or insurance là bảo hiểm. We have free health checkup. Free health checkup, kiểm tra sức khỏe miễn phí. They have what else? And of course, salary is very important. Of course, it's the most important thing, to be honest, when they choose jobs. But also the chance to build connections, cơ hội để xây dựng những cái mối quan hệ chẳng hạn. The chance to build connections. Think about career advancement, sự tiến lên về nghề nghiệp. Or prospect, career prospect, you know, những cái khía cạnh nghề nghiệp, triển vọng nghề nghiệp chẳng hạn. Or the chance for promotion, cơ hội được thăng tiến chẳng hạn. And of course also work environment is very important. You don't want to work with toxic people, you know. Không muốn làm việc với những cái người bạn đồng nghiệp mà rất là độc hại. If they always talk bad behind your back or they try to destroy you somehow, you know.
Okay, sadly,
Of course, think about that.
It's the situation in most workplace.
Of course, all the workplaces in Vietnam are very toxic. I mean, most of them are very toxic, to be honest with you. Toxic, mean, and, you know, it's just toxic. What can I say? Alright, you have some time now. Okay, you can talk about it now. Okay, let's start with Mr. Trung first. Please describe a perfect job you would like to have in the future. You should not describe my job, okay? You should not describe Mr. John's job.
Oh, there.
Okay.
It's really hard, you know, because I think you are having the perfect job right now.
Oh, thank you. But don't say that to anybody. I don't want people to be jealous, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so the perfect job I would like to have in the future. Actually, I cannot tell what the kind of job it really is. But I think the perfect job is a job where you can balance the work and the life, and you can still have room for your own development.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
What kind of development you thinking of?
like you have. Okay, so regarding the development, you have the
Okay, be careful because this part 2 you have to talk about a specific perfect job. Mày phải nói một cái perfect job cụ thể nữa nha. Ở part 2 này chứ không phải part 3 nha. Careful.
no. Okay, so uh, okay, so let's make it up, right? Okay, I would like to be a salesman. The
Salesman? Seriously?
yeah,
You?
yeah. Okay, so I would so I can meet a lot of people and I can communicate with them on a daily basis. Because um, I think the reason I think this job is perfect because uh, uh, I can talk with the people. I meet different types of people every day, and I can bring them, okay, the products, okay, create a value, and even the the feeling of joy to my customers. So like it's in a win-win situation. I bring them the products, I bring them the happiness. I can meet a lot of people and know a little thing from this person, a little thing from that person, and okay, in summary, a salesman is the perfect job to me.
In summary nghe như writing vậy đó. It
Yeah.
sounds like like a formal situation, written language, you know. Careful, cẩn thận.
Yeah.
Cái ngôn ngữ, careful. This is speaking, come on.
Okay.
Đang speaking mà cái in summary, trời ơi. So generally, let's just say generally, you know.
Yeah, right.
Continue, please.
Yeah, I finished my part. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Young, your turn, please. Can you describe a perfect job you would like to have in the future?
For me, as a child, I really love to be a scientist because at that time I
Me
love
too.
to. Yeah, because at that time I love how the world works and how I can fix everything for my fathers or for my parents, maybe my fathers or my brothers. But after a really like life crisis, and understand that I have to choose another job beside the science because science cannot afford me anything. Yeah,
Oh,
so
come on. If you are a good scientist and you also can run a business, then why not?
I think I cannot do that. So yeah, I'm pick IT. What can I say? Và IT viết tắt cho cái gì vậy? Không quên rồi.
Information
Yeah,
technology.
information technology. Yeah, it's actually a really good job for me in the future. It's perfect job for me because I don't have to communicate with people too much, and I still can have money with it, and I can spend my time with another jobs too, maybe in the future.
Uh-huh.
So for me, that's a really perfect jobs. I can do anything that I want, and I still have money, really much, a lot of money, you know.
Wow, is money everything now?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I need now.
Now, Mr. Phúc, please, can you describe a perfect job you would like to have in the future?
Well, in my opinion, I think I would
Yes.
like to be a chef.
A chef, you mean?
Yeah, a chef.
Cái từ đọc là chef nha, SH.
Chef.
Chef.
I would like to
Đầu
be a
bếp.
chef. I like it because I want to be famous and earn like I want to be famous and earn a lot of money and
Oh, come on.
and
If you are Michelin chef, then yes.
But
And normally, no.
I want to be like I want to be a international chef. I
Oh, okay.
want to cook more food, not only Vietnamese food. And I think it's perfect for me because I can cook well. I have
Wow.
English and I have a perfect taste.
Oh, really? I see. Actually, I do think Phúc has many talent. He can play 5 different sports well,
Wow.
and also he studies relatively well as well. And if you said that you know how to cook like a lot of things, then you
Yeah,
are really talented. A talented guy.
A
The
role
only
model.
bad thing is, of course, sometimes
I
you're not that
lazy.
studious sometimes, but it's fine. Nobody's perfect. Anyway, please continue. Don't let me stop you.
Mm, I think it's in.
All right, Mr. Ung, please. Can you describe a perfect job you would like to have in the future?
Well, I think the perfect job for me I would like to do is I think that the perfect job is like work as a professor at a university. So I would like to work there, and I first heard about this job from my mother's friends who like came over to my house several months ago, and you know that who had like she's been working currently as a professor at some universities, and she told me about the benefits of getting a job and securing the benefit like securing a future there. So it quite fascinates me a lot. So if I work there, I would like to be employed permanently there, because I know that there are a lot of promotion opportunities that when one can experience or enhance their life experience, as well as also improve their qualifications as well. So I think that the job is perfect because I had more chances to to see the cultural activities, as well as doing some expand our knowledge. Also, we can get more information from the other people. We can meet a lots of people and to upgrade our qualifications for the jobs as well. So I think it's a perfect job for ones to do if they have the passion in teaching, or they want to broaden their horizon of knowledge. So it's quite perfect for ones to do so.
Okay, good. Right, let's go to part 2 now. So, Young, what kinds of job do children like? What do you think?
Usually, children don't have a lot of information about how their job will be developed in the future. So they usually
Developed.
So they usually pick the job from their parents, usually from their parents, or maybe they're watching TV. So they will pick the job on the TV. That is actually interest them and maybe fit their natural talents like singing or drawings. And maybe they nowadays technology is actually really popular now, so children can actually have a lot of more job information and more job options, like they will be game designer in the future,
Uh-huh.
like maybe it's like more things like about idols
Uh-huh.
from another country, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, good. So, Mr. Trung, please, do children like to choose the same profession as their parents? What do you think?
Okay. Um, I don't agree with this idea because some children can choose the different profession from their parents. Okay, this should be a case or a situation, but this is shouldn't be a situation, a definition. You know. Right. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. For example, I didn't choose the same profession as my parents. Uh, uh, it is not because I don't like their profession, uh, but I am different from my parents. I have different personalities. I was growing up in a different environment. Okay, so uh, that many factors affects my choice of choosing the profession for my future. Yeah.
Okay. Right. I see. Okay, so Phúc, what do you think? Do children like to choose the same profession as their parents?
Mm,
Like, for
mm,
example, would you choose the same profession as your parents and why? But this question is regarding children in general, you know.
well, actually, I
Câu
don't
này.
think.
Uh-huh.
Well, like me, I don't like to choose the same profession as my parents because I don't know anything about it, and I don't think I have interesting on it. And my parents don't like, they don't, kiểu không bắt ép là gì thầy?
They wouldn't force me. They wouldn't force me to do
They,
things I don't like.
yeah, they wouldn't force me to do what I don't like, so I can choose my what, like I can choose my job.
Okay. You're
But
lucky because a lot of parents, they try to force their children into doing things they cannot do. For example, they often force the children to learn music, to learn how to play musical instruments, or to do things that they could not do themselves, you know. Rất nhiều cha mẹ ở Việt Nam là cố gắng ép trẻ con làm những gì mà họ chưa từng làm được. Giống như là hy sinh đời ba cũng có đời con, cái kiểu suy nghĩ vậy.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so Phúc, tell us please. Why would children like to not choose the same profession as their parents then? Cố gắng lên, you can do it.
Maybe they don't have much knowledge about their parent profession, and maybe they don't like or like. Nó là thích hay không thích?
Yes. Yes, continue please, please.
Câu hỏi là nó like. Well, in my opinion, I don't think children like to choose their same professions as their parents because maybe they don't have much knowledge, like they don't have much knowledge about their parent professions, and they don't have interesting on their interested in their parent
Dùng
professions.
danh từ á, they don't have any interest. Danh từ.
They don't
have
have
any
any
interest in their
in their parent professions, so maybe they don't like to choose the same profession as their parents, but maybe their parents force them to do it.
But that's another thing, you know. Forcing people to do things they don't like is another thing. All right, so what should people consider when choosing jobs? What do you think?
Well, in my opinion, I think they will consider about was like if they like it and they have they have time for it, and they have much knowledge, like they have much technical and knowledge about that job they want to do, the job they want to do.
Right, think about other things too. Think about what I just said. Nhìn vào cái đoạn mà thầy ghi á, đoạn chat á. Look at the chat. I wrote something before, remember?
Maybe consider about the salary and sick leave and about free health checkup.
Free health checkup, yes.
I think that's all.
Right, okay. Let's see how Mr. Trung answered this question. What should people consider when choosing jobs then?
Oh, yeah. So at my age, I I made I have made this question so many times. Uh, oh yeah, it was really hard when it comes to the job selection, and after so many time doing research and experience. Um, yeah, okay. So I think there's a few things people should consider when choosing job. The first one is uh, they need to ask themselves, do you like this job? Yeah, okay. And then they should um, consider, is the job's requirement suitable with their personality? Okay. And the third one is, um, do they create the value to people? Um, yeah.
Đúng rồi, có tạo được giá trị người ta mới mới mong được lương cao chứ. If you create value to people, then you can expect a higher salary. You know,
Yeah.
it depends.
Oh, it depends, right? Yes. So, yeah, and I think, but one most important thing that I noticed is that regarding what kind of job uh, people are doing, okay, they need to do the job at their fullest. Okay, okay, do not do the job just because they are paid the salary. So, but we need to put our heart.
You mean we should do a job because we have passion about it, or we have to do it for higher cost than just money, yeah?
I don't
Cho một cái
I
nguyên
don't say
do mà
about bad
cao
passion.
cao sang hơn là so với tiền bạc sao?
We need to make the great make our greatest effort to do the job. Okay, and I think after that, more you know, the happier thing, the better outcomes will come back to us in the future, right? Yeah, because if we do any kind of job with the half of our attitude or half of our ability, and in the future we will regret. Okay, so they will feel regret, like was and they are going to ask themselves, why didn't they make a better effort at the job, and somehow they would get the better thing, you know. So in everything
Yeah,
we
like why didn't they make more effort in learning IELTS so they can have better
yeah,
job? Yeah.
that's it. So in everything we do, we should make our greatest efforts to do the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Tại sao họ không make an effort in learning IELTS so they can have better IELTS so they can have better job, you know? And they should not skip classes. They should try their best in class, you know?
Yeah.
Good. Tường, what do you think? Will people regret their career choices when they become older? What do you think?
Actually, it depends on each individual mod. In some situation, they don't, but a lot of people do so. Like, I think the main reasons for this is when, like, when they didn't make they didn't take the job into consideration, so they will be regretful afterwards. Like, so when people just they were forced into doing it by their family, then they usually don't become like fully satisfied with the work. So like, yeah, so people, because before choosing a job, people just think of the pays the most money or gets the best title, but they do not consider about the other things like the good working environment or supportive boss or the co-workers and something like that. They usually do not take those elements into considerations before they elements before choosing a career, so that people will be a little bit like disappointed about their workforce when they come to the reality that the high salary jobs are not usually effortless to them.
Say what? They're not usually what?
Like
They're not usually important to them, you mean?
and the salary does not, um, affect much to them more than the other things.
I see. I see. Good, but I think this question regards the fact that when they become older, like when they are retired, would they regret their career choices? I know some people, they do regret because they made poor decisions. Họ đã quyết định khá là poor, khá là sai lầm. They made poor decision in the past. For example, they chose to do that job because their spouse, bởi vì their spouse also in the job, for example. Bởi vì bồ của họ hoặc là người tình hoặc là vợ của họ cũng trong cái ngành đó, hoặc là chồng họ cái ngành đó luôn, cho nên họ mới làm trong cái chỗ đó chẳng hạn. But they would be better do the job at do the, like different job at different places, so sometimes they regret. Or maybe people who follow their parents' footsteps because it's easier for them, but once they become older they regret. Nói chung là mấy người mà cứ theo sự chỉ bảo hoặc là theo lời ba mẹ, kiểu gì sau này cũng sẽ hối tiếc. Well, anyway, so what do you think, Dương? Will people regret their career choices when they become older?
I think maybe yes, because actually right now there's a lot of jobs that is missing from their ancients, like drawings, original drawings from Vietnam. So it's actually sometimes they have to tiếp nối.
They have to do what?
They have to continue their parent jobs, and when they old, they actually really regret about that because they
regret a lot, không có really regret nha. Trời ơi, sai rồi. Regret là động từ.
Yeah.
They regret a lot about it, okay?
They regret a lot about it, so it's actually
part 3. Remember, this is part 3.
And there's some jobs that they don't really love to do that, but they being forced to do it, like, and after and they don't have any chance to do another job, so they have to do it. And so when they're old, they actually really regret about it.
They really regret nữa rồi.
They regret a lot. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So. Okay. Let's continue with the next topic now. We have time. Okay. 42 is finished. It's done. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. This is part 2 and. No, this is part 2. Yes, this is already done. Part 2. There you go. 57. No, let's do something a bit more difficult. We did 68 already too. Okay, let's do let's try 70 then. Okay, 70 is a bit more difficult. Describe a time when you saw someone doing something bad or someone committed a crime. Miêu tả một thời điểm mà khi các bạn thấy được ai đó làm cái gì đó tệ hoặc là ai đó phạm tội, committed a crime. You should say when the incident happened, where it was. Cái sự kiện nó diễn ra lúc nào và nó nằm lúc đó ở đâu. Who was involved and how you felt about it. Ai đã tham gia vào cái chuyện đó và bạn cảm thấy thế nào về điều đó. Committed a crime, and you should also, there's a lot of part 3 questions here, but also it's related to school rules, you know. School rules. What kind of rules do school in your country have? Trường học ở đất nước bạn có những cái luật như thế nào? What can teachers do to make students obey rules? Những người giáo viên có thể làm gì để cho các bạn sinh viên học sinh phải tuân thủ theo luật? What should parents do to educate children about the laws of your country? Các bậc cha mẹ nên làm gì để giáo dục con trẻ về những cái điều luật của đất nước bạn? Like for example, traffic rules, traffic laws, luật giao thông chẳng hạn. Or the law regarding work, luật lao động. We have traffic law, we have labor law, luật lao động. We have other kind of laws related. Yeah, these are the two most important laws you have to know. I think traffic law and labor law, but other law as well, of course. Nhưng mà cái này là các bậc cha mẹ nên làm gì để giáo dục con trẻ về cái luật trong đất nước bạn. Does your country have any laws you do not agree with? Đất nước bạn có bất kỳ cái luật nào bạn không đồng tình không? Like luật body shaming, phạt 16 triệu khi nói người ta mập.
Trời ơi.
Like Vietnam did actually have a law against body shaming, you know. Nhục mạ thân thể, in which people are fined up to 16 million Vietnam dong for talking bad about the appearance of others. Luật chống khẩu nghiệp. But it's hard to enforce this law. Rất là khó để mà thực thi cái điều luật này. It's hard. And so far I have not seen anybody getting fined because they break this law. You know. Or you can talk about the laws, like for example, bắt buộc là học sinh phải mặc đồng phục suốt luôn. Like the laws in which students have to wear uniforms always, for example. Or the law, there used to be a law that say that students are not allowed to bring smartphones or phone into their classes, you know. Có từng có cái luật là cấm không cho học sinh đem điện thoại di động vô lớp ấy. Trời, ngày xưa nhớ thời của John, trời, học cấp 3, luật cặp, luật này đủ thứ bất thình lình. Làm thấy ghê.
Yeah.
Of course, that is against that law is also against the rights of humans. It's against human rights. Nó chống lại các quyền con người nha. Cho nó quyền tự do. You have the freedom. You have the right of freedom to own things, of course. Cái quyền mà có thể sở hữu mọi thứ kia. You have a right to own things, of course. And if people just suddenly want to see what's inside your bag, it's illegal, of course. Đương nhiên là nó là bất hợp pháp rồi. But people still do that anyway, you know. People still carry out those things anyway. Có những cái luật mà đưa ra nó phá những điều luật khác nha. There are laws that basically violate. Nó vi phạm, nó xâm phạm những cái điều luật khác nha. There are laws that violate other laws, you know. Cái bài này liên quan chặt chẽ bài The Law với lại bài Criminals mà. Alright, so we have part 3 questions here. about crime, okay? Do you think that the crime rate is increasing these days? Crime rate, tỷ lệ tội phạm. Anh chị có nghĩ rằng tỷ lệ tội phạm đang gia tăng ngày nay không? Tại sao không? Think about the bad economy. Hãy nghĩ về nền kinh tế thấp kém đi. And high unemployment rate. Tỷ lệ thất nghiệp cao. Of course, people will resort to crime. In order to survive. Để mà tồn tại, con người ta sẽ phải giống như là nhàn cư vi bất thiện, you know, đi xin đẻo, đi lừa đảo chẳng hạn. People will try to scam others for money in order to survive, you know. Sometimes they do that. Hoặc mượn tiền không trả đó. Or borrowing money without giving back. Or try to scam others. You think the crime rate is increasing these days? Why not? Number 2, what do you think are the reasons for young people committing crimes? Anh chị nghĩ lý do gì để cho người trẻ phạm tội? Who do you think should be held responsible or should be held accountable for the wrong actions that young people do and why? Anh chị nghĩ rằng ai nên chịu trách nhiệm cho những cái hành vi sai trái mà người trẻ làm, tại sao? And number 4, do you think the school system should educate people more about the law? Why? Anh chị có nghĩ rằng hệ thống trường học nên giáo dục con người ta hơn về luật pháp hay không? Tại sao? Number 5, do you think putting criminals in prison is the best solution to combat crime? Why not? Anh chị có nghĩ là tống giam con người ta vào tù, tống giam những tên tội phạm vào tù là cái giải pháp tốt nhất để mà đấu tranh chống lại tội phạm không? To combat crime. Do you think that your country should take domestic là trong nhà, domestic abuse là chuyện nó gọi là bạo hành gia đình á, domestic abuse or domestic violence. More seriously, why not? Bạn có nghĩ đất nước bạn có nghĩ rằng đất nước bạn nên xem cái chuyện bạo hành gia đình hay bạo lực gia đình một cách mà nghiêm túc hơn hay không? Tại sao không? Because you know, a lot of the time when people ask the police for help, the police will say that okay, this is your problem, this is a civil problem. Đây là một cái vấn đề civil. It's a civil problem. Vấn đề dân sự. Đây là cái vấn đề dân sự, vấn đề riêng tư. And then the police wouldn't interfere to intervene. Yeah, Phúc, you can go first so you can go to the football field. Can thiệp vào. Alright. Do you think that your country should take verbal abuse more seriously? You know, so we have the word verbal abuse. Nó là sự bạo hành về lời nói nha. Bạo hành về lời nói tức là sao? Chửi rủa, mắng nhiếc một cách rất thậm tệ. So scolding people, to scold people, mắng ai đó. To scold people or to abuse people with words, you know, nó là cái chuyện mắng nhiếc xong rồi miệt thị người ta. This is verbal abuse. Do you think your country should take verbal abuse more seriously? Đất nước bạn có nên xem cái chuyện mà bạo hành về lời nói một cách mà nghiêm túc hơn hay không? And do you think that making the law stricter is a good way to combat crimes? Why not? Anh chị có nghĩ rằng làm cái luật á nó khó hơn là một cái cách tốt hơn để mà đấu tranh chống lại tội phạm không? Tại sao không? You have 2 minutes to think now. Alright. Describe a time when you saw someone doing something bad or someone committed a crime. Phúc, you can do first.
Yes. Okay.
You asked for it.
Okay.
Yeah, you asked
about
first.
A month
so that's
ago, I saw a string man trying to snatch my friend's phone.
You stole what?
I saw a string man trying to snatch my friend phone next
Okay.
to my school,
School.
and yeah, school, and then my friends trying to
Was trying to
was
or
trying
tried
to
to.
catch was trying to catch him, and I trying to catch him, and uh with
Yes.
about and he and two more people going to trying to catch him, and after after 30 minutes they catch him,
They
and
caught him. They caught
they
him.
caught him. And well, in my opinion, I think that I felt disappointed about what he doing, what he did,
What he did. What he
what
did.
he did, and feel uh and I feel and I think he need to have gọi là một hình phạt như thích thích đáng á thầy.
An appropriate punishment.
Appropriate
An
punishment.
appropriate punishment for him.
Appropriate punishment.
An appropriate punishment for him.
Punishment for him.
Yes. Anything else?
No.
Alright, good. Now, Young, please, can you describe someone with a time when you saw someone doing something bad or someone committed a crime, please?
So when I was studying at school, there was my classmate who's smoking vape in the class, and
Oh, he was smoking vape, I see.
it is actually not really good for my health and my friends with my teacher too. At that time, my teacher have bleed. He bleed. He know it's bleed because of he can smell the nicotine. So his nose is bleed at that time, and we know that there's someone smoking vape in the class.
You mean the scent? You know the scent.
Yeah, the
It's
sense.
because of the scent. You cannot hide it, you know.
Yeah.
It's not easy to hide, you know.
Because of the sense, I know that someone's smoking, but I can know who exactly, but still.
I don't, because I didn't know exactly. Cẩn thận, quá khứ.
Because I didn't know exactly who did that, but I can just sense that someone and a little bit realize someone is smoking in the class.
Realize. I realize. I'm đầu.
Realize.
I realized someone was smoking in the class. Realized. I realized someone was smoking in the class.
Smoking in the class. And
I realized someone was smoking in the class.
I realize someone is smoking in the class.
I realize.
And for me, it's actually not really good experience. So I just tell my friends and someone and just tell my friends about someone smoking in the class. At the time we just study, we still studying. Yeah.
Right, good. Trung, please.
All right.
Please.
Okay. So, there was yeah. I think it's a common thing to watch someone committed a crime in Vietnam. Okay, so on that day, I was walking down on the street having fun with my friends and some middle-aged women. Okay, I believe they were coming from the suburban area because they had a lot of golden chain and bracelets on the body.
Okay.
Again, they looked like they are new to the city, so they took a lot of
wow.
yeah, they took a lot of photos with their brand new iPhone X Pro Max. I don't know what kind of number it is.
But it looks very fancy, right? It
Yeah,
looked very fancy.
it looks very fancy. Okay, and while they are happily taking picture and chatting with each other, some guys
Some
on the motorbike. Okay,
someone was on their bike and
on motorbike. Okay, so uh, they were approaching the women from the far behind, and okay,
here
so
comes karma.
yeah, okay, so the action is like it was really fast and smooth. Yeah, okay, it's just
They were
like
very professional, yeah.
yeah, like they were yeah, they were very professional at taking away the belongings from the people. It was fast and smooth, and it's just like um 1 or 2 seconds. Yeah, and after the main uh ex uh, uh instantly took away the things from the women. The women take a few moments to realize what will
To
happen.
realize
Ah,
what happened.
yeah, like they were frozen in time. The women didn't know what to do
Okay,
next.
come on. It's more than 2 minutes already. Hai
Yeah,
phút rồi.
yeah. Okay, so I feel it's a tragic situation, but it's a lesson for the women. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Ai biểu khoe của thôi. You can go to football now, Đức Phúc. Go. All right, so Tường, please.
Well, fortunately, that I've never seen anyone commit a crime before, but it was one time in my grade 8, I saw someone cheated on his final exam. So, like,
Hmm.
at that period of time, I was doing my literature exam, and the students like sat in front of right in front of me, like he prepared a small paper and like he folded into the smallest signs as possible, and then he put the paper under his answer sheets to look at the information that he had prepared before. Like he sat in front of me, so I saw clearly his actions. But right after that, like after 20 minutes when the exams began, he was caught by our teacher, and he cried and he begged our teacher not to cancel his exams a lot,
No,
but
disqualified. You have to use the word disqualify.
disqualified. Oh.
Disqualify someone. To disqualify someone. Lúc đó là coi như anh không đủ phẩm chất để mà tiếp tục đi thi cuộc thi này nữa rồi. Disqualify someone means like you fail someone immediately and you render someone not being able to take exam anymore. It's a complete fail. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but he were still act to he was still sent to the examiner office to do something. Like at, at first I felt scared for him because it was a really risky actions, but he continued to do so. But after that I felt a little bit sorry, but still it was a really like a meaningful lessons for him to learn, because when it's kind of risky actions when you have to cheat on your exams. Maybe he was kind of busy, like do not have a well prepared preparation for his exam, so he had to cheat also. But actually, it was kind of annoyed for me to do, like for him to do so, because his noises and his words, we just cannot focus much on our literature exams. And yeah, his actions directly affected to mostly the students in my room at that period of time.
You mean affected mostly, không affected nha.
Affected mostly.
Affected mostly the student in the room. Okay, good. All right, let's okay, I think we can continue with part 3 later, but I would like our class to redo number 17 later. Mình phải làm lại cái số 70 này. We need to redo this one. Okay. Lần sau làm lại cái này. Okay, because we don't have enough time to properly do all part 3. Okay, I'll see you later then.
Okay, that's the end of my videos. Please like, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and press on the bell button next to the subscribe button so you can get notified about my new uploads, okay? You can also press follow my Facebook, but please don't add me on Facebook as friends, okay? Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi nha. Các bạn hãy nhấn vào like, chia sẻ video này bạn bè các bạn. Nhấn vào nút đăng ký kênh YouTube mình và nút cái chuông kế bên cạnh cái đăng ký kênh đó, để mà các bạn có thể được thông báo về những video mới nha. Các bạn cũng có thể nhấn vào nút theo dõi Facebook mình, nhưng nhớ đừng kết bạn Facebook mình nha. Thank you and see you. Bye.